Welcome back everyone to Counter-Hegemony. Perhaps you have been following the recent developments in the Israel-Palestine conflict. In this video, I would like to share with you some of my thoughts on the coverage in the Western mainstream media and the imperial agenda behind it. The media, mainly in the US but also in Europe, has largely misrepresented the recent escalation of violence in the Middle East. There's hardly any objective, balanced and critical coverage. Instead, we are witnessing an organized and systematic campaign to decontextualize the conflict, hide its underlying causes, and sway public opinion. Many news sources in the West have characterized the recent attacks by Hamas as Israel's 9/11 and as a war on Israel. Israel is depicted as the victim of unprovoked and unbearable attacks, as if they had occurred in a vacuum. The larger historical context is usually left out. Operating from a position of moral superiority, Hamas and other Palestinian militant groups are labeled as barbarians and terrorists. Yet the daily experience of Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank at the hands of Israeli occupation is hardly ever mentioned. One cannot talk credibly about Palestinian violence without at the same time calling Israeli state violence by its name. The one implies the other. So why does the media remain silent about the terror of Israeli settlers and the Israeli army? Why is the media largely ignoring the 75 years of Israeli occupation, violence and provocation that seeks to systematically eradicate and humiliate Palestinians? Why is Israel treated differently than any other country and given less criticism despite its actions? Why doesn't Israel receive the same level of scrutiny as, say, Russia, which was criticized for annexing Crimea and parts of eastern Ukraine? Why do many Western journalists overlook Israel's annexation of eastern Jerusalem, the West Bank and the Golan Heights? Israel has not responded to any UN resolution that condemns its settlement activities in these territories. The United States and the EU have never imposed sanctions on Israel for the crimes it has committed against Palestinians. It is the same old story, the same cliches, the same media cover-up. People who criticize Israel's military occupation over Palestinians, its settler colonialism, its oppressive apartheid regime, and the glaring injustices are often accused of anti-Semitism. Don't get me wrong. Anti-Semitism is a real issue that must be strongly condemned. However, when any critical analysis of Israeli policies is responded with claims of anti-Semitism, then this labeling becomes a destructive political tool used to silence dissent. Many critical voices, including those on the left, have been bullied and coerced into silence out of fear of being tagged as anti-Semitic. This must be understood within the context of the existing power relations. Imperial ideology and colonial rhetoric are widespread in Western media's coverage of the Israel-Palestine conflict. It's important to recognize that controlling the narrative is key to imperial and colonial practices, as dominant ideas uphold political and economic power. Consent is a tool of domination. That's all for now, although there is much more to say, but the weather's just too nice to spend the whole day indoors. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do it now through PayPal Me. The link is in the description. As always, thanks for tuning in and for liking the channel, for sharing the videos. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back with more on the Israel-Palestine conflict very soon. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.